Opportunities, we've got something for everyone. Visit HarborHippos.com to get your tickets and gear today. Opening day is May 30th. Don't miss out.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Well, good afternoon, Lake Norman, and welcome to Town Talk. We're coming to you live from WSIC, the Real Talk Studio. Nestled Lake, it's a beautiful Lake Norman, streaming worldwide from Mooresville, North Carolina to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm your host, Bill Russell, President of Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce, the largest chamber of commerce in the Charlotte region. My guest today is Jacques Martel. He is the general manager of Burtons Grill and Bar. Erin Douglas, district sales manager in North and South Carolina for the Vitamin Shop. Jim Combs, wealth advisor for United Community Bank. I was talking to Trent Gustafson earlier today, and we have a guest today from Birkdale Place. We have Burtons at Birkdale Place now. We have Caribou Coffee, the Salon Loft, and coming very soon is the Vitamin Shop and Jet Set Pilates and 210 luxury apartments right around the corner too. And Birkdale Golf Course is just kicking it. Jim, we had the PGA this past weekend. You and I went, but it's my understanding there was a lot of people on the Birkdale Golf Course, and the Memorial Day is already sold out. Already sold out at Birkdale.
Yes, it's a very good golf course if you haven't played it, and apparently on Memorial Day, unless you're booked, you're not playing it either. But at some point, you should get out there.
Okay, Jacques, I mentioned Fort Lauderdale, Florida. That's where you were born and raised.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's beautiful down there. Tell me a little bit about what you did in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, well, in Fort Lauderdale, I was the general manager of a restaurant there on the famous Las Olas Boulevard for about 7 years. Ran a gastropub, chef-inspired gastropub down there for a long time with all the other hot restaurants on the strip. And my wife and I decided to move up here right in the middle of COVID in April of 2020, and that's where I got involved with Burtons Grill and Bar.
Yeah, Royal Pig and Pub. That's really
Royal
popular.
Royal Pig Pub and Kitchen. It was very popular. COVID unfortunately did its way with it, but yeah, fantastic place. But that's where some of my background.
You know,
came from.
I didn't know this about Fort Lauderdale. I mean, I knew Fort Lauderdale was like the spring break capital of the world. I mean, everybody goes to spring break, but it's known as the Venice of America. It has an extensive canal system throughout the city.
Absolutely, everywhere, especially down in Fort Lauderdale, that whole area, the Las Olas area. Mm-hmm. That's where Wayne Huizinga came from, right over there with Waste Management, and lived right there on the water and all the canal systems there.
Erin, you've been to Fort Lauderdale?
I have not, but now I want to go.
Have you?
I have not. I've been to Venice. I've been to the Venice. I've been to the actual Venice, but I haven't been to the North American
It's
version.
paradise to live there for to visit there, right? So half the people are like, when I moved up here, they said, well, wait, you left beaches and palm trees? I said, well, it's not all beaches and palm trees when you live there all your life.
Right.
So there's also a lot of traffic. So
a lot of tourists.
And a lot of tourists. So
my favorite vacation spot, if I can't be in Lake Norman, my favorite vacation spot is actually South Beach. I love going to Miami.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yes, South Beach.
And that's personally
West
the
Palm
only
Beach
reason
is
I go to
nice.
Miami is South Beach, and then I get right out of there. So,
Erin, where's your go-to vacation spot?
You know what? It's right here in North Carolina, Emerald Isle. I absolutely adore it. I love the beaches. We love the water, so we go down there quite often. Even when I'm working, I try to make trips to go down there and stay at the house. So anytime we can be on the water, I'm happy.
And Jim, you're a pilot. You can fly anywhere you want to, but when you can, where do you go?
Kirsten and I end up out in Colorado somewhere, either Vail or Aspen, and that's where we go.
Well, Jim, I specifically wanted to have you here today. You're a financial advisor, and the market is starting to rebound. If you're watching the stock market, you know, one of the things that financial advisors always say is don't panic. You know, just you're in there for the long run. Don't panic. And now the market is back about where it started before Trump took over. But I wanted to talk about the tariff situation. And when I was reading today, Josh Brown was on CNBC, and he talked about how that the market, he was more concerned about AI and the impact of AI than he was on the tariffs.
Yeah, they're both going to impact the markets, right? So AI is constantly going. Mm-hmm. As we had the AI clinic or the AI summit a few months ago here with the chamber, that is always going to change things. It's going to change the business. So not only is it going to change how we interact, but it is, and I think you have seen this when I showed you my clone. We had a clone of me made, right? And
no
then
kidding.
Yeah,
One's
Did it
enough.
look
Though.
like
One's
it?
enough.
Yeah, trust
I was
me.
gonna
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. So we had made a clone. Then my buddy goes, all right, this is what I want Jim to say, and he sends it to me, and everything the clone said, I didn't say any of it, but it looked exactly like me and had my voice inflection.
Wow.
And then when you go into security and you go to the next security level,
Oh.
so you're on the phone with your whatever bank you're with or whatever you're doing, and they go, hey, would you like to do voice recognition? And that way we can identify you quicker. I would recommend you do not do that.
Wow.
Because I can get the scammers, those people can get you on the phone for, all you have to do is say hi, hello, talk for 10 seconds, and they can get that voice. And then that's the new thing where they're calling in, hey, I talked to the person. So I would be careful on that. But AI, with the chips, everything that's going on with it, you saw was it DeepSeek or with NVIDIA?
Yeah.
Where they literally
It's
used
horrible.
AI to make their own company, and all they did was use an AI chip and AI program to steal all their businesses information. So,
Erin, are you using ChatGPT or AI in any way, shape, or
I'm
form?
really afraid of it. My son is in the FBI, and so he's
Oh,
like,
really?
"Mom, stay away from it." But it's really interesting because I do put a lot of content out, product knowledge and education for my teams, and it inspires me on what to write or how to write something. But it does freak me out because it makes me feel like I have imposter syndrome when I use it. I'm like, is this really me? So, but it does generate some good ideas for me. But I do try to stay away from it a little bit just because of my son.
Do you do a lot of blogs?
I don't. No, I would love to.
So when you're writing, what do you?
I do a lot of content for the Vitamin Shop, product knowledge, training and education, how to connect with customers, how different products work for the different parts of the body. So it's more related to the job itself.
Jacques, is Burtons? Are you using AI in any way, shape, or form? Or are you personally?
No, I'm too busy for AI right now. So, which is a good problem to have. But no, I have people in our corporate office that would be able to handle anything like that. Thank God.
I was going to say, that's a relief for you, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, and again, two stocks, Jim, that I'm watching because again, the market. I was just telling Jacques before we started. If people are scared that we're going to have a recession, which we're not. They might be reluctant to spend some money, go out to restaurants and things like that. So that's really what I want to talk to you about. But there's two stocks I'm watching. Number one is Lowe's, headquartered right here. It was up 2%. I have stock in that, and it's doing real well. And NVIDIA, you just mentioned it. They've got an earnings report next week.
yeah, the earnings for Lowe's came out this morning. It was positive. One disclaimer, I'm not advising anybody to buy any stocks. This is not advice. If you want advice, go talk to your advisor. But Lowe's came back positive, and as long as we get positive returns on earnings on constantly or consistently, that's where you're not going to have a recession. And they've been calling for a recession for 5 years.
Oh, sure,
and,
yeah.
But as long as earnings continue to be positive, you're not going to be in a recession. You're going to need to see 2 full quarters of earnings down, and that will be a kind of a leading indicator. So,
NVIDIA started in gaming. I mean, that's where they really got their foothold. They were in gaming, but now they're kind of moving into the whole AI thing.
AIs, chips, all that kind of good stuff.
All right,
fast.
well, we're going to go to our break and hear from our sponsors and make the studio a little bit of money, and then we're going to go back. And, Jacques, I want to talk to you about Burton, so don't go anywhere.
Can't
We'll
wait.
be right back.
Lake Norman Chamber President Bill Russell brings you the voices shaping Lake Norman. Stay tuned for more Town Talk on WSIC. Local starts here.
We're back. Okay, like I said, we don't go to a commercial break. We go straight into stuff. And this program is on Facebook Live. It's on LinkedIn. It's on Twitter. It's YouTube. All of that. What social media, Erin, do you use with the Vitamin Shop to get the word out?
We love social media. Instagram is fabulous. All of our stores have their own Instagram page so that they can share their own team. They can create their own little community within their store. We talk about the Vitamin Shop at large. We talk about the over 700 brands that are in our portfolio. So we love social media. We love Instagram, LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. I love connecting with other like-minded business partners in the community and the world. I think that's just a fabulous networking community. We use Facebook a little bit, but mostly it's going to be the Instagram and LinkedIn.
And your son said stay away from TikTok.
He definitely tells me to stay off TikTok. Absolutely.
Saw that coming.
Not even on the phone.
They said the Chinese will get your information. I'm not sure they don't already have my information,
I'm kind of worried after the whole clone story that more people don't have it.
Yeah, no, it's a thing that I would love to show it to you one day because it's scary how you can just do your whole presentation and
Wow.
it looks like you did it.
It is phenomenal that they can take a singular picture and take your voice in one sentence that you say and then replicate your movements and your diction, and you're saying this. You could give a whole speech and it's
That's
not
crazy.
you.
That's crazy.
And we used to say the camera doesn't lie, but now the camera absolutely
It always lies. It always lies.
And
Absolutely.
if you're in that industry, you can probably have some telltale signs that Like I saw something yesterday, and they were pointing out somebody's. I think it was the press secretary, that her fingers didn't look right in the picture, and so it was totally fabricated because it was supposed to be a YouTube video with her and the Colbert going head to head, and that never took place. But yet in the photo of her, the fingers are a little bit deformed, and so that was a telltale sign. But there may be a point in the future that it will be hard for people to determine that.
Yes. It'll be hard. Like I'm was working on having my clone literally do presentations.
Wow.
Because it never says, it never forgets. You just type it in. This is what I want you to say. And the clone does it.
Amazing.
And,
It's perfect.
Reese, how long I got? 30 seconds. Any social media that Burtons uses?
The same that Erin said, same thing for her business. So LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all the basics. So
I would think Instagram would be
Yeah.
really, really good with yours.
Oh yeah. Instagram has done really well for us. So we stay on top of all that.
All right, we're going back live. Thank you for staying with us.
This is Town Talk with Bill Russell on WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back to Town Talk. I got Jacques Martel. He is the general manager of Burtons Grill and Bar. Erin Douglas, district sales manager for the Vitamin Shop at Jim Combs, wealth advisor for United Community Bank. And Jacques, we were talking about Burtons a little bit. Talk about what's the concept, because when I was there, and thank you very much for the grand opening. You invited me in, and Susan and I came out, and the waiter or waitress one was telling us that it started because the family wanted to go out and find a gluten-free restaurant. I think that was the story, and they couldn't find one, and so they went and created one.
That's right. So our Burtons Grill and Bar started out in Hingham, Massachusetts in 2005, and then we made it over to the Charlotte market 2016 at the Park Road location, and then 2019 opened up in Blakeney. And anyway, the need was there, and through popular demand, we were able to open right here in Huntersville, right across the street from Birkdale Village. So yes, and one of the things that we're known for is our allergy commitment and dietary restrictions, and predominantly have a gluten-free restaurant.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and you mentioned we have 3 locations right here in the Charlotte market, and hit them again because we have the Birkdale location.
Absolutely. The Birkdale's the newest. We just opened on April 22nd here across from Birkdale Village. And prior to that, in 2016, my old location, my previous location rather, is the Park Road location, right next to South Park area, and then Blakeney down Valentine Ray Road. So that one opened up in 2019. So again, the market is super strong in Charlotte. And we were wildly successful with our Park Road location, and but I live in Huntersville, so when the opportunity over a year ago, when we knew that we were going to open up in Huntersville, my hand went up.
Heck yeah.
And not to mention my drive is 12 minutes rather than
You got a
50,
raise,
so,
didn't you?
Yeah.
and not just you, your bar manager's from Huntersville, right?
As a matter of fact, my bar manager and my executive chef. And I actually took someone else as well from both markets, who's a fairly newer manager, but excellent employee and been with us for a long time. So
And
very
how many-
well-rounded team coming to Huntersville.
How many stores does Burton have?
We have 22 locations nationwide, and this makes number 22 now.
And you told me some exciting news. You said because you were beaming about. I said, "How's business?" Share about how's business.
It's been a whirlwind from day one. And Bill, you were invited to the VIP. Thank you for coming to that. And what a fantastic event. I know Erin's been there many
awesome.
times.
Yeah.
Jim's been there. But it's just been, we all knew it was going to be busy. And it's wildly busy. So from day one right through today, and we just closed our first period out, and couldn't be happier. Double-edged
great.
sword, because that means I pretty much live there right now, which is okay. I signed up for it, and we're grinning ear to ear right now. So it's been great to be able to deliver what we do on a daily basis to the people of Huntersville.
Erin, one of my weaknesses, I guess it'll be a weakness, is I like brown liquor, and these guys make an old fashioned.
My husband loves it.
Yeah, share a little bit about your old fashioned and your signature drinks.
Well, the signature drinks. I mean, we have an array of signature drinks, of course, but the old fashioned for sure. And it's funny because Edwin, who's part of the chamber as well,
Commissioner Quarles.
I'll never forget it because he came up to us and we were out in the tent, a hiring tent, for several weeks prior to opening. Hiring everybody and whatnot. And Edwin just came on up and he says, "What y'all doing here?" And I said, "Well," "we're hiring for this beautiful restaurant you see right in front of you." He says, "Burton's Grill, no kidding." And he says, "I got one question." He says, "Manhattan or old fashioned?" I said, "Old fashioned, man, all the way."
Oh.
So yeah, and we make our syrups in house, so everything's from scratch. We have only the freshest ingredients, so Redemption bourbon and a warm vanilla syrup that we do for the old fashioned,
and a mighty mean lychee martini as well.
Oh yeah,
that is
the lychee
quite
martini.
good.
Which one?
Lychee martini.
Lychee martini with
Quite
the
good.
lychee fruit. Yeah, it's fantastic. So and the bar, it turns out our bar has just been booming right from the start. So we found that out quickly when our liquor
VIP
percentage
event?
rose
Oh.
to the top of the company quickly in Huntersville. I'm like, whoa, they're coming right off the lake and going right to the bar. So it's been great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you do a
Congratulations.
brunch?
Absolutely. We do a brunch every Saturday, Sunday from 10:30 to 3 p.m. And again, wildly busy right from the start. And we offer a gluten-free brunch as well. So you can get everything from a cast iron French toast to chicken and waffles, gluten-free crab Benedict, also a ham Benedict. I mean,
Getting hungry.
list goes
I was gonna
on.
say,
I
what
gotta
time
go.
is it?
The brunch menu is extensive. It really is. Not to mention we have just the perfect setting for it. I mean, you all have been there as far as the interior goes. Hand-painted murals throughout the restaurant, inside and out, and not to mention probably the biggest patio I've ever seen.
Yeah.
We could sit almost 100 people outside. So
I've seen the patio. Now I have a magical question for you. This is really important. My kid is a four-legged kid, so I have an old English sheepdog.
me too.
Are you have an old English sheepdog?
Not an old English sheepdog, but
Okay. Do you allow pets on your patio?
absolutely. We even have our own dog bowls.
Oh, really?
Dog bowls, yeah, that we bring in specifically for that. So.
See, Erin, that is the prerequisite for most of the restaurants I go to in Lake Norman.
I see.
It's can I bring my dog
Okay.
because he has to come too,
Yeah.
and so that's very, very important. So you allow pets on the patio.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Oh.
we encourage it. I'm a dog lover myself.
Yeah, I love dogs.
I bring my dog Roger over to Town Park. We
Beautiful
try to
park.
go weekly. Beautiful park on the lake there. So, yeah, we've been doing that for years. So,
Erin, you have a puppy?
I don't. I'm on the road too much. And my husband's all gone a lot, so I don't want to do that to an animal. I feel bad. So we borrow everybody else's and love on everybody else's. Yeah. One day when we retire and slow down, we'll get another one.
You mentioned your menu, and there's people listening on the radio, but there are also people watching. So where would they find? Obviously, they could Google Burtons.
where would they find it?
Yeah, where would you find your menu? Just
Oh, yeah, you can find our menu just on burtonsgrill.com. And we also have private dining menus as well. So we cater to a lot of, business dining. We have two different PDR rooms as well, private dining rooms. So with AV connectivity. So,
Oh, that's great.
and eventually we're having custom curtains made so that they can make it completely private as well. But yeah, you can go on burtonsgrill.com and just look at our regular menu or our traditional menu, which is available all day, all night. So you can come in at night and order a salad with salmon, or you can come in 11 o'clock during the day of an Allen Brothers ribeye. So,
well, it's Wednesday, and I understand y'all have Wine Wednesdays. You want to talk about Wine Wednesdays?
Wine Wednesdays is fantastic. So everyone loves Wine Wednesdays, right? It's hump day. So, you come on in on Wine Wednesday, and all of our wines are half off by the bottle.
Nice.
So you can come in, a couple exclusions, some of the higher end stuff, but pretty much 85-90% of our wine menu is available at half off price. So great day to come out and enjoy a nice steak with some wine, some seafood.
Now, Erin, I met you at the VIP party there, so I know you've been there at least that night, but I think you've been there several other times.
I have.
What's your favorite dish so far?
I
at
keep
Burtons?
getting the same thing, and it's the ahi tuna salad bowl or the ahi tuna
The
bowl.
ahi tuna bowl.
Oh, that thing is absolutely delicious. And I can eat the whole thing and feel like I'm eating healthy and clean. I don't walk out of there feeling like a glutton. It's absolutely delicious.
And the trick to that is the togarashi seasoning
Yes.
that we get on the outside, and we mix that with our homemade ginger aioli for the base sauce.
It's
And,
amazing.
I mean, as
And
soon
the
as we put
pickled
that on the
onion
menu,
that's
it
in
rose to
there, the
top.
cucumbers that are in there, it's just delightful. And then you have a chocolate cake. I shouldn't be eating that. My Vitamin Shop family would be like, "What are you doing?" But that cake at the end is to die for.
And I'll bet you would never guess that is a gluten-free 7-layer chocolate cake.
I would not have guessed that.
And I had that chocolate cake
It
too. I
is
know exactly what you're
amazing.
talking about.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is
it-
amazing.
You know, it's funny, and I want to ask you this question because when I go to a restaurant and if I find something that I like, I order it every time.
I hate it because he has this beautiful menu, and I'm like, I want to try that. And I'm like, no, I like that.
And Susan is the type person to go like, well, I had that last time, so I want something totally different. So you're in the food service business. What do you do? Do you hone in on something? Or do you want to try something new?
I'm a creature of habit as well.
Mm-hmm.
I do like what I like, but especially in my position, I've learned to branch out quite a bit. Try different flavors at different restaurants too, but especially mine. So I've eaten everything as you can imagine over and over again. But for us, it's really quality check as well. So I mean, on a daily basis. Just yesterday, I ordered 5 different dishes to try.
Wow.
Just a little. I don't eat them all.
Yeah.
But
And Jim, I think you've been there for lunch, right?
So I went there for lunch. I tried the wings, sriracha, maple sriracha.
the maple sriracha wings.
Unbelievable. And then that was all I was going to eat. I was only going to eat that. And then I had to keep looking. Sam's describing the menu. The short rib grilled cheese.
Oh
I'm like,
my gosh!
I sampled that first
yeah, I'm
night.
like, this is, yes.
Stupid good.
And then she gave me a sample of the espresso martini, just a little
And that's
taste of it.
That's a nitro espresso martini.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
This was lunch.
It was a sample.
yeah.
I've
You could
seen-
tell us, Jim. It's all right.
No,
Jim, I've seen your samples. Okay?
different profession here.
but also, you were talking about, you have to sample stuff and you have to do a
Yeah,
quality check.
absolutely. Quality
And
check.
I would sacrifice my body to help you out and come by and sample stuff during the week. I'll do it.
I'll give you a call.
Yeah, I'm here for you.
and then walk down 2 doors to my store,
Vitamin
and I'll
Shop.
help you burn that off.
Fix
That's
it.
right,
You
that's
fix
right.
him up, burn that energy.
Full circle.
The thing that really did get me excited about it is my wife is gluten free. So you know how it is, right?
Right.
So, and she doesn't even know that we're 100% coming there tonight or tomorrow night. I want to get her there tonight, but half price bottle of wine. But the options of, she doesn't have to just have this one thing on the menu that's specially made, and
Well, and what people I don't think realize is what it really takes on the back end to really pull off a menu. And not only that, but we cater to the big 9 allergies as well. And it's not as if we started as this concept as a allergy restaurant. In my belief, the people chose us to be the best in the business as far as when it comes to accommodating people with dietary restrictions or gluten allergies. So, and that goes back to proper utensils, cutting boards, one-time use, fryers, very specific protocol. So,
Jacques, we got less than 30 seconds. You guys do catering?
we do catering. That's brand new to us, and we're going to have a fantastic catering menu that's coming to us. All of our stores are live on catering right now, and obviously during the opening, we waited very little bit, about a month. So we're going to be starting catering.
That's
any moment
exciting.
now.
All right. Well, we're going to stay with us on Town Talk. We're going to be right back after these words from our sponsors.
Connecting businesses, nonprofits, and the community. Stay tuned for more Town Talk with Bill Russell on WSIC. Local starts here.
You know, last time we talked about a lot of Chamber of Commerce events. We got
We got a lot of them.
But no, we didn't talk about any. We spent the whole time talking about the social media. But last Friday, we recognized the Outstanding Small Businesses of the Year, and it was a fantastic little reception. Alpha Graphics of Lake Norman, they were our Cornelius Business of the Year. Freedom Boat Club, which a lot of folks think, well, they're in Cornelius. Well, they have locations in Cornelius and Davidson. So we recognized them for Davidson. Nothing But Cakes in Huntersville. If you've been here for a while, you've been over to Nothing But Cakes.
I'm a frequent guest. As a matter of fact, they just sent over a little gift bunt cake to our whole staff just the other day. I haven't made it over there to thank them personally, but I definitely will because my wife and I go there regularly.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite bunt cake?
The white raspberry truffle.
White raspberry. Okay.
That is my favorite. So,
Erin?
but
I'm a lemon fan. They've got a really delicious lemon bunt cake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Red velvet.
Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah, I love the red velvet.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, and then I want to say, David Alexander Electric was our Mooresville Small Business of the Year in Mooresville. I got to tell you, our reception was just fixing to start, and Angela with Nothing But Cakes, she looked around and she said, "Where's the sweets?" And I said, "Well, we didn't have any." She said, "I'll go get some." It starts at 3. She left at 3, went down to Burtons. Like, oh my gosh, on a Friday afternoon, you're not even going to get back. But 20 minutes, I think she must have had somebody meet her. 20 minutes, she brought back these 3 huge boxes of bun cakes.
Nice.
And I mean, everybody was just over there devouring the bun cakes. It was fantastic.
They're great.
They're very, very good. Unfortunately, trying to get rid of sugar, and I'm like, I got to stay away from it. But, and I don't even know if I like the cakes. It's the icing. Just give me the icing and give me a spoon.
quick story about them, real fast.
Yeah, sure.
We got married in COVID in South Florida, and during COVID, everyone was, obviously worried about, catching it. But so we changed our wedding cake to 120 of the minis.
That's awesome.
And everyone got their individual bundt cakes. So and it turned out just fantastic.
That's
So
great.
We love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a fantastic business. The day before Thursday, we had our women's conference. We had the year before we had 120 women at the women's conference. This year we had 170 plus women at the women's conference. It was just fantastic. I'm still hearing people, congratulating. It had nothing to do with Jim or I. Jim's on my board of directors. It was totally Joy Dillon there is the chair. She lined up all the speakers. The speakers did a fantastic job. Leslie Reed at the Chamber of Commerce. But also Thursday, Jim and I, we weren't at the women's. Actually, I showed up at the women's conference. I welcomed everybody, shook some hands. Then off I went to the PGA. Now, the thing that you don't want to do, Jacques, is you don't want to go to the PGA with a golf pro. Because, I would normally go sit there, drink a drink, eat some stuff, sit up in the booth, watch the thing. I'm in the Duke Energy hospitality tent. No, Jim's going like, let's go over to 16 so we can see this player, and then let's go over to 5 so we can see this player. And I was just like, what's wrong with the view that we've got? and on the way out, he goes like, now let's go to the driving range where you can see their shots. And so we sat out there for 30 minutes watching these golfers just drive their shots.
I know it's a bad thing, right? It's like what excites me about golf. Nobody cares about, right? I want to see the club angle. I want to hear it, the impact, and see how it the setup, where they're at, and nobody cares about that. They want to go out and have fun, which everybody else is having a lot of fun. I wish I didn't care about all that, but I could sit on the range all day and have before.
It was funny that the whole time he had his phone out, and you have a PGA app, I guess.
Yep, It was the PGA Championship app.
Yeah, so he's sitting there, and I'm going like, because we're not facing the Telestron screen like we normally are, so I couldn't necessarily who's coming up. He knew exactly who was coming up. He was going down the leaderboard. This guy's 3 under.
Of course he was.
Oh yeah, all the fun. They're hitting it in the bunker. I'm like, everybody was like,
you should have played along with him and talk to the neighbor next to you to tell them who was coming. Act like you knew, Bill.
Yeah, everybody when somebody hits it in the bunker on the PGA Tour, right? Everybody's like. Normal golfers would think that's a problem. No, the PGA Tour players or professionals would want to hit it there rather than the rough because it's so consistent how they can hit it out. It's almost an advantage. The bunkers are too nice, and it's an advantage. And you saw how many bunker shots.
Yeah.
Right. I wouldn't know.
I would have no clue.
I'll speak for myself.
Yeah.
So. And that's got to be a real benefit too, with you being right there at Burtondale Golf Course with the restaurant.
Everyone that's come up, not everyone, a lot of people, and I was just amazed at this, that said, where do y'all live? Because I got to know everybody that I could, and they're like, right there, right on the golf course. I mean, everyone lived right there in Burtondale, and walked there, so it was great.
All right, well, we're going back live on the radio in about 10 seconds, so thank you for staying with us in social media land.
100.7 WSIC.
Your local pulse on business and community. This is Town Talk on WSIC, 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, and 1400 AM.
Welcome back to Town Talk. I got Jim Combs. He's a wealth advisor with United Community Bank. Erin Douglas. She is a district sales manager for the Vitamin Shop, and Jacques Martel is the general manager of Burtons Grill and Bar. And Erin, your bio said that you were in the Air Force. That's where you kind of got your start. Then you were a nurse. Talk about how you got into the Air Force and where were you stationed?
So I got in. I have a family full of military. My dad, my brother, my grandpa. It was in our blood, I think you could say. I started off going to school up in Wisconsin and decided, let's go to the Air Force and travel the world, get a free education while I'm doing it. So I joined the Air Force. I always wanted to be a nurse. So I joined the Air Force, and they originally sent me to Osan, South Korea. So here I am, just this young girl. Everybody in my class got to go to Las Vegas. I know you mentioned you've been to Las Vegas before, or Washington, and these great places in the United States. And they said, you're going to Osan, South Korea. And I was like, oh my God, where am I going? Freaked out, but it turned out to be the best adventure of my life. I was there for a year and then re-upped for another year over there, and was able just to see the world. I played softball for the Air Force and got to go to Japan and Guam and play sports in the Air Force, and was really it helped to cultivate my love for fitness. I've always been into sports and fitness, and it allowed me to do that and travel the world at the same time.
You know, Jacques, you mentioned Commissioner Quarles coming over to the restaurant. He's a veteran of the Air Force, and awesome. As a matter of fact, one of the things that he's done is our veterans here didn't have a local VA office to go to, and Commissioner Quarles has been pushing, and now the town of Cornelius, through a partnership with Mecklenburg County, is going to be opening up a veterans office here in Huntersville at the new town hall sometime in the fall.
That's amazing.
So at the Vitamin Shop, that's really cool to hear, and I'm interested to learn more about that because we partner with somebody called RWB, Red, White, and Blue, and it's an organization that helps to support veterans reintegrate back into society through health and fitness. And so it helps build community. And I think that's what we're all here for today, is to build community through our respective businesses. But the RWB and the Vitamin Shop work a lot together. So I think working with the Veterans Society and all the VAs right here would be fabulous.
Have you met Edwin yet?
I have not.
We'll
I'd
have
love
to make that connection.
Yeah.
Maybe
incredible.
we can gather for drinks
Such a
over at
personality.
the Burtons, right?
You let me know.
I'm in. Count me in. Yes.
The Vitamin Shop hasn't opened yet. You're on the verge of opening. When do you expect to open, and what is the Vitamin Shop?
So the Vitamin Shop is a health and wellness supplement store. We have over 700 different brands of products, from multivitamins, omegas, proteins, hydration, longevity, sugar support we were talking about, a little bit of everything. We believe that everybody deserves good health, and all of us are on a different wellness journey, whatever that is, however we define that. And we're just here to help support everybody in that journey. So you can come in and see our health enthusiasts. We don't have employees. We call them health enthusiasts. We train them to be knowledgeable about the products, different need states that people have, so we can help to support each person. The four of us could all go to the gym right now after we go eat at his restaurant. We could do the exact same workout, but we all need something totally different for our bodies because we're all in different places. And that's what we do at the Vitamin Shop. We allow customers to come in, share their goals and their wellness states with us, and we help them to build a regimen that supplements their diet. Food is the best way to fill your diet, right? And to fill it, but none of us eat 100% of the way we should. So we need supplements to offset what we're not getting through our food and our nutrition. So we're getting ready to open June 9th, assuming all goes well. We're going to have a soft launch on June 9th right here next door to Burtons. Our grand opening event will be on June 21st, and we're super excited to be a part of the Lake Norman, Huntersville community.
You know, we do have a lot of different vitamin shops in the area, so what makes yours different?
Well, most of the vitamin shops are mine, so they are ours. So we do have a couple competitors out there. Our knowledge, our unrivaled knowledge really sets us apart from everybody else. When you join our team as a health enthusiast, you have to go through quite a bit of education. I've been there over 17 years, and I still learn something new every day. Right. But some of our competitors, they don't have near that level of education that we provide. So we provide education about the products, the body, how to connect with customers. So that sets us apart from everybody else. And at the end of the day, we're just looking to help everybody feel healthier when they leave than when they walked in. We're not trying to upsell. We're not commission-based. We're trying to help you find your best fit for your body.
For someone who's never been to the Vitamin Shop, how would you describe the experience and the type of products you offer?
You know, that's the great word, is experience. We want you to have an experience, because all of us could get on our phones right now and go to Amazon or to a plethora of different websites and order our products and have it shipped to our home. What you're going to experience in our stores is a health enthusiast who's going to ask you who you are, what you're here for, what's your why, and we're going to help curate a solution just for you. So you might have something for blood sugar, you might have something for joint health. I might just want something because I want to be fit over 50. So we're going to ask a lot of questions, and we're going to curate a package, if you will, to help support you.
You know, Jim knows that we have a lot of chamber after hours and events, and so I don't have a healthy eating lifestyle. You know, we're talking like a lot of tacos and chicken wings.
We
and
live at the lake,
burgers.
right? Come on now.
So talk to me about the role of supplements in a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, so I think it just helps. We don't eat, not all of us eat 100% like we should, like you just said. So we need lots of fuel for our body, and that fuel comes from our food sources. So if you eat the unhealthy foods, that's fine. Enjoy your life. Enjoy the foods that you put into your body. But let's talk about, what are you missing? Is it a multivitamin, vitamin D, an omega fish oil? Maybe it's protein. So we're just going to really talk to you, figure out what your lifestyle is like, what your eating habits are like, what do you exercise like. Again, we believe everybody deserves good health. Not all of us have good health, but we believe that everybody deserves the best health they can have in the state they're living in.
Love that.
You mentioned the RWB, and I didn't really know what that was, but you just said red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
As a veteran, how does it feel to work with a company that supports something like RWB?
You know, it's amazing. The Vitamin Shop walks the walk. They don't just talk the talk. They are doing whatever they can. We believe that, I keep saying that, everybody deserves good health. And no matter who you are, whether you're a veteran, you're a school teacher, you're a police officer, we're helping everybody. And as a veteran, to know that we're taking care of those that took care of our country. I'm the mom of a veteran as well. It's so good to feel that, you know what, people are taking care of the people who took care of us to give us our freedoms. So it's just a great partnership, and I love working for an organization that does that. We also support, I know you talked about Bags of Hope. We support Vitamin Angels. We provide vitamin A to women and children who are malnourished. Lack of vitamin A, just one little vitamin A pill, which is smaller than my pinky fingernail, can cause blindness, malnourishment, and death. So we partner with Vitamin Angels to provide life-saving vitamin A to women and children that allows them to live their best life. So we do a lot, from RWB to Vitamin Angels to just connecting with members of the community to make sure everybody is living their healthiest life.
You know, you've said the word team a couple times. You've got a team down there.
I love my team.
How does your team help people on their wellness journey?
You know, our team is, we are really picky about, I think you said it as well, sir, that we are picky about who we choose for our teams. We want people who don't just want a job. We want people who really want to take care of other people, who want to listen and empathize and be a big support. So, and our teams work collaboratively together. We have small teams, maybe 5 or 6 people on the team, and they work with each other. We won't know everything, but my partner might know something, my assistant manager might know something, and we have tools and resources that we can help the customers on their journey. Teamwork is everything, and my teams are incredible. Again, they're not employees, they're health enthusiasts. They have an enthusiasm for health and wellness and taking care of people, and that's the heartbeat of our stores.
Erin, you talked about what you do with veterans. What are some of the other groups that the Vitamin Shop works with?
Well, Vitamin Angels, RWB, we're always connecting with local communities. Like every city and every state has different organizations. Like here, we've got the Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce. I could see us doing stuff with the Bags of Hope that you were doing. So we're across the United States. We have 700 plus stores across the country. So every store in every community connects differently with different local organizations.
Jacques, do you guys do any community outreach with Burtons?
Oh, well, we're looking to do it now. So I'm talking to different schools right now and trying to get involved in the community to bring Burtons, obviously, to be able to do food drops and things like that, and get involved with some of the sports communities in the local area as well.
Okay. Reese, what we got? About 30 seconds? 30 seconds. You know, you've got this new location in Huntersville. What's the vision for that store?
You know what? Lake Norman, Huntersville area, it's just hungry. It's an active, young, fit community. You got the golf course. You got the lake folks. They're hungry for a community partnership. Yeah. And all of us, from Burtons to Caribou to Jet Pilates and Vitamin Shop, we want to be here for the community to help them be richer.
Well, we'll be right back. Stay with us on Town Talk.
Connecting businesses, nonprofits, and the community. Stay tuned for more Town Talk with Bill Russell on WSIC. Local starts here.
Did we get it in, Reese? We didn't get cut off, did we? Yay! That's good. I have actually heard of some folks in the middle of talking. They've even heard it on like Fox News and stuff. They're in the middle of talking. They're cut off. So, so I could tell the energy and excitement that you have for opening up your vitamin shop.
Oh, we're so excited.
You have found your passion.
Yeah, and I've been wanting Birkdale for years. I've been telling our organization we've got to be in the Birkdale Village area. So when this location opened up and we were able to get that, we were so excited. And just seeing the energy, I've been able to be at the restaurant, I've been at Caribou Coffee. We're not even open yet, and the buzz is exciting. People are excited. The golf course is right there. It's like everybody, they might just need joint support. Who knows what they need? But it's a community vibe. It's unlike any other location that I've seen in a long time. And I have a lot of locations, but this area is a true community. And what's better than community, right? This world is so divided right now in so many different ways. But you come to Burtons, you come to Caribou, you come to the vitamin shop, and it's people from the neighborhood, right? It's people from up the street. It's people from around the corner at the ice cream shop that you talked about, running into each other with their dogs, right? It's just a community feel, and I think it's just going to explode for all of us.
Erin, when you were in high school, did you know you were going to go into health and wellness? Did you know you were going to be a nurse?
I knew I would be health and wellness for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know I'd be in retail. I'd never wanted to be in retail, but this tied in my love. I was a nurse for many years and had the opportunity to be a stay-at-home mom for a little while. This tied in my love for fitness, health and wellness, and taking care of people without the emergency room blood and guts, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but health and wellness was always, I'm just very passionate. I was always the caretaker, the teacher, the provider. They call me that at work still, the mom of the group, the provider, so the nurse of the group, if you will. So,
Jacques, I didn't look at your LinkedIn profile. Have you always been in the hospitality industry?
All my life. Yeah. I started out quite young in the hospitality industry, but I've been managing restaurants since early 2000s, 2005. Been a GM since 2008 but I've only, prior to moving here, it was only with 2 concepts over 2 decades. So
wow.
once I found a place that in Burtons,
It's home.
Been the best,
Yeah.
honestly, so far. So just a very, very well-run company and great people.
All right. Well, we're going back live in about 10 seconds, so thank you for staying with us.
On business and community. This is Town Talk on WSIC, 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, and 1400 AM.
Welcome back to Town Talk. I got Jacques Martel. He's the general manager of Burton's Grill and Bar. Erin Douglas, district sales manager for the Vitamin Shop, and Jim Combs, wealth advisor for United Community Bank. Jim, you want to share a little bit about what you do as a wealth advisor for United Community Bank?
So wealth advisor does more than just some transactions and your investments. We sit down and we get to know people. I just had a person, come in yesterday and they're like, hey, I need some, I heard I need a wealth advisor. And I said, okay, well, we're going to talk for an hour, but then we're going to talk again next week. And then we're going to talk again the next week after that. We want to get to know you before we do the investments, right? So we get to know the client. What's their risk level? What are they, what's their goals? It's not just come in, oh, yeah, I have one of these, it's not where you go in and just grab a vitamin or talk for a few minutes. All right, what are we doing? What's the legacy? What's going on? Unfortunately, I've had to deal with a few deaths, a client or a client had their mother or father pass away, different types of things. We sit and really take time to get to know people. And I love doing it at United Community because, and one of the reasons I've been there a year and a year and a month, but one of the big reasons I came over is because United Community Bank is all about being in the community.
Right.
And, as much as I like sitting in there at the bank or with clients or being with them, Bags of Hope that we talked about earlier, I was over there for an hour today, and it's me, a couple of the branch managers from the Davidson branch, the Cornelius branch, everybody's in there. And we do that every month. That's one of the things that we do. Alzheimer's walks.
Oh, that's great.
Like literally the bank would rather you be out in the community than, hey, just sitting here and wait till somebody walks in and, do a transaction.
And you touched on a question I was going to ask you because UCB is bought the former Aquesta Bank.
Correct.
So there are lots of locations in the area serving Lake Norman. Talk about those locations because you're in all of our communities.
Yeah, so Brawley location in Mooresville. Then there's right next to Harris Teeter in Davidson. There's a branch there. And then the one in Huntersville is over by Panera and what's the Chinese restaurant? Panda Express. So it's over there. And then, of course, just across the street here in Cornelius, next to Publix, is the locations up here. And then I actually work with two branches one in South Park, one in Ray Farm. So we kind of cover that area. Then we also have private wealth. So we have another level of service as well there. And
Nice.
Erin, Jim is my business growth chair of the Chamber of Commerce, and so we had the artificial intelligence summit as we were talking about, and they taught me a little bit about ChatGPT and Claude and Grok and some of the others. ChatGPT is the one that I chose to really start playing with, and I asked ChatGPT to come up with some questions for all three of you, see if we can get to any. So I'm going to start with you.
Boy.
Again, these aren't my questions. But these are insightful
Should we
questions.
turn it
about
on for
restaurant
the
owners.
answer? No.
What has been the biggest operational challenge? And you just opened this restaurant, so I'm going to talk about restaurateurs in general, because this one just opened a month ago. But what's the biggest operational challenge in the last year, and how have you seen restaurateurs adapt to it, and particularly at Burtons?
I think a lot of people, it's, even after COVID, I've been in this business a long time, but after COVID, it was hard to get the right people, to the right team, so like we don't call them employees either, but we don't call them enthusiasts, but
Right.
at the same time, it's about getting the right people in the right place, aces in places, and, they're team members ultimately. So that has been a challenge, but this time it has not been a challenge for me. I think we did a fantastic job. For us personally, our challenge right now is we know what we're capable of doing on a daily basis as a company for Burton's Grill, and just bringing that to Huntersville with the volume that we're doing has been a challenge. So there's been certain challenges like that to make sure that we're delivering just an excellent quality experience to every guest, no matter how busy we are.
Yeah.
Now, this is a question that I've actually seen play out in the market. How has the past inflation and fluctuating food cost affected your menu pricing and profit margins?
Well, as far as our food pricing goes, we usually we take the hit on our own food costs. We're not going to let that impact our guest. Now, granted, we bring in nothing but the most quality sourced out ingredients for our menu to the level. Plus, when you're so accommodating to allergies, it's not like when you run out of things, you could just run to your local supermarket.
Yeah.
There's a lot of thought and research that goes into all the products that we bring in because we cater to so many different types of allergies. So for us, we keep the cost stable, even though we're providing a top quality product.
Erin, yours was going to be a little bit different because I asked, with so many vitamin supplement options out there, what are 5 important questions to consider before making a purchase? So I want you to get your perspectives on this. First off, one of the questions is this supplement third-party tested for quality and purity?
So you definitely want these products tested. The great thing about our brand, we have over 700 brands in our line, but we have several that are private brands we have even more rigorous testing than third-party testing. So we test everything for purity, potency. We make sure that every label ingredient is true to what's on that bottle because we want to make sure that nothing crosses that counter that isn't what it says it is. So that is a huge process for us, and it's like a 5-stage process that we put our products through to test for purity and potency and integrity.
And again, these are questions the consumer is going to be asking themselves about this. So do I actually need this supplement, or can I get this from my diet?
Yeah, you can get so many supplements from your diet, but are you getting the right amount? And what's going on with your body? What are you doing? What stresses are you going through, good, bad, or indifferent? Because there's a lot of stresses in life that could even be good. What are you eating? How are you fueling your body? How are you not fueling your body? How are you sleeping? How are you not sleeping? So there's a lot of questions that go into that because certainly food is full of nutrients. But then there are some foods that are processed, and they're so processed that there's no vitamin, mineral supplementation in it. So it's kind of like washed out. So there's a lot of questions that go into that. So we're not just going to give you a one-fit bottle for everybody. We're going to dig and ask you a lot of questions, figure out exactly what's going on with you before we make a recommendation.
And I think this question is right down your alley. What is the source and form of the ingredients, and how bioavailable are they?
So we use only the best of the best of the best. And so most of our products are made in America. We do get a lot of our herbs from other countries. Our rhodiola comes from Russia because that's the coldest area of the world, and that's where it's sourced. But our products are made right here in the United States. They're sourced right here. They're made right here. And we make sure that it's nothing but the best. I think we have 5 products that are not made in the United States. It would be fish oil, coconut oil, our water, which comes from Iceland, Tonneland comes from Germany, and there's one other that's slipping my mind right now, but everything else is made right here in the United States.
And this is a question that probably your team members are interacting and talking with consumers about. But are there potential interactions with medications and other supplements that I'm taking?
Absolutely. So that's why we want to get to know the customer. You talked about doing that in your wealth management, right? We want to get to know the customer because there are some supplements that do interfere with certain medications, but we have great resources and tools. If you told me you're on a medication for joint support, we have resources that can look to see, does that interfere with something that we have in our store? Because if it is, we're not going to recommend it for you. So getting to know the person before we just hand off a bottle is very important because we want to make sure we're giving you the right supplement.
And the last question that AI came up with, what dosage is recommended, and is it backed by scientific research or health professionals?
Well, the dosage just depends on the supplement.
Right.
So there's we have 7,000 different products in our store, right? So it just depends on the supplement, but everything is backed by our integrity and our brand standards for making sure that the products are exactly what we say they are.
Jim, you want to hear yours?
Well, I was hoping
That was tough. I'm going to tell you.
Listen, in all fairness, I don't want to take time from these two. Let them talk. Let them trying to time us out. Anyway.
Nope, you're up, Jim.
Please.
There are a lot of financial advisors out there,
Right.
particularly in Lake Norman. So I said, what's the key criteria someone should consider before they select their financial advisor? And so here's the ones that they came up with. And again, the 5 of them, and you can comment on them. First off, credentials and certifications. Are they a certified financial planner? How important is that?
So I will say with all of them, it is the relationship, the character and integrity of that person. Okay, so there are plenty of people that are sitting in jail right now that are fiduciaries, right? Or they have this title or they have those things. Those things are good because it's good training, right? You have to make sure that, we're all training and seeking those, but it's not, that doesn't stop there, right? So you have to get to know that advisor, the 19-year-old kid or 20-year-old kid that comes out and he's got all the letters next to the name. Like I have a bunch of letters next to my card. It doesn't mean anything to you other than I've been training. So it is good, but dig deeper.
We're going to run out of time, so I'm just going to get fiduciary duty. That are they always going to act in their best interest? Fee structure, how do you get paid? Transparency and communication. How often do we meet, and how do you keep me informed? That's probably something that I've watched you over the last 2 or 3 years. That's something that you really excel in.
Well, I appreciate that. Fiduciary is care for the client first, and literally, it's good that the companies that I work for, they are very much customer focused. So we have people, do an investment questionnaire, like see what their risk tolerance level is. If I make a trade that's outside of that risk tolerance, within 5-10 minutes, somebody's ringing the phone. Hey, you just bought this. That's outside of their risk tolerance level. Why did you buy it? And maybe it was justified, and we talked about it and all that other type of stuff. But it's good to have those guardrails.
Checks and balances.
Yeah, and anytime that, you can look at BrokerCheck. If you're looking for a financial advisor, you can go to brokercheck.com. Everybody's out there. Type in the person's name. You can see if they've had any disclosures, any issues in the past. But, FINRA, I don't always love it, right? But they're very good at making sure that your money is safe and, you're dealing with people that are fiduciaries. Fee schedules are always different depending on the amounts of money. And what was the last one? Oh,
Communication.
I usually meet every quarter with my clients or talk to them as needed.
Awesome.
We are wrapping up. Jacques, we need to go down to Burtons and have a drink. Then we need to go over to Erin's place, get a
Please
pill
do.
to
That's
sober,
right.
sober
One-stop
us back up.
shopping.
Yep.
And then we'll see you in the morning for a 1 hour
If it's
retirement.
Wednesday
Yeah, there you
afternoon, if it's Wednesday afternoon, we're talking about Our Towns on Town Talk on WSIC. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Serving you better than ever before. WSIC, Statesville, W290DK Mooresville, W260.